Today's episode is how taking risks will propel your business forwards. Hello and welcome to the Successful, Sensitive and Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Lydia Sophia Wilmsen and I am an intuitive success mentor for sensitive entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I speak about the challenges sensitive and intuitive entrepreneurs face. I offer you new perspectives and solutions, as well as experiences of other entrepreneurs. Plus, I speak about my personal experience of being a highly sensitive person who has successfully built and scaled 2 businesses. All of that with the goal to make you and your business even more successful in your very unique and authentic way. Have fun and enjoy. There is a method to continuously expand yourself, your business, and your results. That means it doesn't happen out of nowhere. It kind of does, but let me explain. So whatever you're doing right now, if you keep doing the exact same thing with the exact same mindset, you will keep creating the same results. That's basically a given. So if there is no change in nothing, you will just recreate everything in the same way. That means if you want to change up things, that means if you want different results, you want to grow your business, you want to work with different clients, you want to make more money, you want to attract a different clientele, or also in your personal life, you can basically use this for anything out there, then you will have to switch things up. And what you're doing right now is kind of a comfort zone. It becomes easy for you. This is why we want to keep things as they are, because they are kind of easy to us. They don't stretch us anymore. It's the same routine. But if you don't expand on your routine, nothing in your business will expand. So what is this? What is this taking risks? What do I mean with that? I don't mean with taking risks to do things which are totally unreasonable, where you have that feeling of like dread of, oh my goodness, I can't do this. This is going to wreck my business. And where you feel very, very uncomfortable, but in a very not nice way. There is a different feeling to expansion and stretching. It's a feeling where you feel it's a stretch, where you feel it's a big step, and at the same time, there is more excitement than proper fear. And I really want you to stop today and think about that, because usually we know what that next step is. Usually we know what this expansive thing is. It keeps running in the backs of our minds. It keeps running, the same story, the same idea. And there is this slight fear of like, oh my goodness, what does this mean? Or can I really do this? Or is this not too much? Or is this going to work? So it's an idea usually that comes up often. It can be very silent, but it keeps coming up. So in the back of your mind, you know what it is. And something keeps you from that. And that usually is either some fears, some limiting thoughts, or our comfort zone, that we just want to keep the things as they are because it's comfortable. And you have to understand that where things are comfortable, there is no growth. Growth means that for a moment in time, things will be uncomfortable because it's a step into the unknown. It's a step into uncertainty. The comfort zone, even if it's not nice and you don't like it there because you don't make enough money, because it's not the right clients you work with, it's not the best friends you have there, it still creates certainty for you. You still know what you're dealing with. And this you have to give up. And this is what many people struggle with, giving up certainty for something that's uncertain and unknown, that will stretch them and grow them. And you have to understand, if you want to grow things, if you want to go to the next level, then you have to take this step. Then you will have to take those risks, so to say. And actually, they are not risks, because if you really follow this inner calling, if you really follow your intuition, there is no risk attached. It will work out or you will learn from it. But those feelings from deep down, like this deep knowingness, this is my next step. Even though it scares the hell out of me, those are the steps that bring you whatever is meant to happen in your life. It's a reach beyond where you are at now. What could that be? What could those risks be? Because I already said, don't do like something extremely scary where you already know, oh my goodness, that's going to like crash everything. I'm not talking about crazy risks like people who go into the mountains without security and all of that stuff. I'm not talking about risking your life, so to say, or risking the life of your business. I'm talking about those things you have been called to do. And you could sit down and write a list of things you feel called to do, perhaps not right now, but at some point, and that do scare you a little bit. And it could be that you already know what I'm talking about. And I just want to give you some examples so you have an idea into what direction you could go. One of my clients started to reach out for interviews on a podcast and then started his own podcast and interviewed people and basically doubled the income of his business from 50 to 100K. This was a very uncomfortable stretch for him. And it was not so much that then the podcast brought him all the new clients, but following that intuitive hint of, I want to stretch myself. It's really uncomfortable to go out there and own myself and own up for what I stand for. But this then brought them like one interview that brought them so many clients. This stretch. And then what else did I have? I have clients, for example, where it's really about not necessarily standing on stage, but putting them out there, getting visible, becoming visible on a new level, signing up for speaking gigs, doing something they have never done before when it comes to PR in business, doing interviews again, being on TV, interviews, all of that stuff. Or people who launched their first book, people who launched their first artworks. Like deep inside, you know what it is. And this is what you have to follow. For some people, it's signing up with a mentor. It's signing up with a coach. For some people, it's a next level investment that doesn't even have to do with their business, but is an investment into something for their kids, for their future, so to say. An investment where they just had this calling to do that, but they weren't sure if this is the right step, so to say. And you have to understand, I did a whole episode on that it's not necessarily on the action you take. It is really about that personal stretch. It really is about getting out of your comfort zone and following basically your highest excitement. It doesn't really matter what it is so much as that you do it, that you stretch yourself and that you follow that what deep inside excites you. Because you know what you focus on will expand. And the kind of energy that you put out there will attract more of that. So if you just follow those things that really excite you, that really are lots of fun for you, that really stretch you, but in a good way, you will get more of that. If you stretch yourself, other things in your life will positively stretch. For example, your business in a good way. There is no way that you put out the same energy in your business and create different results. There is no way. So for today, I really want you to take some time to think, what is that? What is that? What really would excite you? What you have been perhaps thinking about, but not allowing yourself to do with your business? That next step, whatever it is, if it's reasonable or not, it just does not matter. What is the thing that gives you the spark that you have been thinking about deep inside? And then go do one step towards that. So if it is about going on doing podcast interviews, being on TV channels or something around that, go and do the first step. Send the first email. Put it out there in a tiny way. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything now. If it is signing up with a new coach, write an email to someone that inspires you. Or check out another coach. Like do one thing that excites you now into that direction. That already is, so to say, a sign to the universe that you mean it. If it's about marketing, if it's about showing up in a more unapologetic way in your marketing, do one post about that. You don't have to shift everything around now. Do one post where you're more unapologetic than usual. If it's something in your private life, if you want to be more direct in some personal relationships, start in a tiny way, but put this in there. Like even that can be a stretch that helps you in business when you have to not necessarily stretch in business, but in your private life. And obviously, monitor very closely what's going on inside. What are the fears that show up when you are about to do that? Do you fear of missing out on something? If you really go for one specific thing now, do you fear missing out on other things? Or is it that you fear that you will be closed off your community, that the people you are getting along with right now don't want you anymore? Is it this fear of exclusion? Is it the fear of success? What if I'm super successful? Are other people going to see me as the rich bitch or something? Or is my character going down? Like, am I going to be a horrible person if I get so super successful? Or is it fear of failure? Is it fear of like kind of imposter syndrome, that you're not good enough? When you go and stretch, those fears will show up and they will be the next steps for you to take, meaning to tackle those fears and work with someone to get through them. So today's message really is only about listening closely. What is the next scary thing for you to do? Be super honest with yourself. You don't have to tell it anyone else. What is it deep inside that you do want to do? And then do the first step towards that. And if it's missing clarity, if you say, hey, Lydia, I have no idea what you're talking about. I know a stretch is waiting for me, but I have no clue what it could be. You know where to find me. Sign up for a Mindset Catalyst call and we can go through that. I can quickly identify that with you. I have no problem with that. And yeah, that's it. Reach out to me. We can talk about it. And also, if you have this feeling, I have no idea how to do this, I don't know what the next step could be, also reach out to me. That could be exactly the stretch that's needed. And if you know what the next stretch is, do a tiny thing to get there. Implement a tiny step to get there and observe the limiting fears, the limiting thoughts and the fears that show up and tackle those. And I have a quick announcement for you. If you want more support on this, I'm opening up my Shift, Accelerate and Thrive Mastermind. This is going to be beyond everything I have done. If you're interested in close support from other leading edge people who are working with their minds, who are shifting everything and creating miracles in their business and lives, and obviously one-to-one coaching from me with bi-weekly coaching sessions, group coaching sessions with a Voxer group, with lots of group support, and obviously all my wisdom in there, then reach out to me. If you are anyhow interested in that and you know you're looking for next level support, just get on a no pressure call with me. We will talk through everything what's going on in your business and life and see if that's the right next step for you. So if it is, send me a message. You'll find the link in the show notes for my Mindset Catalyst call and just put into the comments that you're interested to learn more about the mastermind, and then we can take it from there. If you have questions about pricing, yes, we can talk about all of that in the call. Okay, that's it. I'm super excited to hearing from you what's going on for you and what your next step is. So sending you much love today and until the next episode. Did you like this podcast episode? Then I would be super, super grateful if you gave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Super helpful. And please subscribe to the podcast and share it with people who you know can benefit from it. You can find all links to my social media profiles, my website, and contact form in the show notes. And whenever you're ready to take a next step, and that means you want to live a life of more on all levels, then send me a message with where you want to go and what is keeping you where you are, like what keeps you stuck at the moment. And then I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode, much love to you, Lydia.